my dilemma is between passion and pressure. So it's like the passion that I naturally have and the pressure that the society tells me to do something mediocre instead. You know, just go for CS, there's job there.
It's a false dilemma. You know what a false dilemma is? You're told only A and B exists, C is anyway discounted, no C option exists, and between A and B is just so scary that you'll have to go for A. That's how you are made to go for really life-sucking options. You said you loved space. You used the word passion. So go for it. Why are you caring for money?
Maybe I don't care about money, but what if I have people who are dependent on me? So I agree with you, but there is a but. It is to some extent also natural because humans are herd animals. If we are herd animals, that means to fit into society.
Animals don't hold mics, do they?
Well,
We still want to call ourselves animals? Yes, of course, we have this biology. But we left the jungle behind, didn't we? Or do we want to still live as animals? Yes, you are very right. I agree with that, just as you agree with me. But
Sir, I'll be asking my next question. So my question actually revolves around passion. So for a very long time, I have been interested in electronics engineering, specifically in the science technology, the space technology fact. So it is a very niche and very specific field, space technology. And thinking practically in India, there are like a very less vacancies in ISRO, very less startups in space technology. And you know, the whole life I have been doing passion projects, learning about space, this and that, and everything was directed directly towards my passion. I never thought to either divert anywhere from the whole thing. My motivation like this high every time. But the moment I came in my 11th standard, most of them started telling me that you're really interested into space. Why aren't you going for CS? Why aren't you going for electronics? Like they'll pressure me into doing something that is safe, that is very practical. And I just wanna follow my passion to the end without actually thinking anything, but that would get my motivation well off down. And I'll be like rethinking about, do I really wanna go through this whole thing? Because it's very risky. It's not very sure that I'll get financial stability, I'll get this and that. So sir, I came across this quote from your book. Sir, first of all, my dilemma is between passion and pressure. So it's like the passion that I naturally have and the pressure that the society tells me to do something mediocre instead. You know, just go for CS, there's job there. So after reading the quote, true fulfillment comes not from passion or pressure, but from a deep understanding of what must be done, driven by love, not desire. This whole line was never in my equation. Can you help figuring out what someone do by explaining what you meant by driven by love, not desire?
see, this is the false dilemma. It's a false dilemma. You know what a false dilemma is? A false dilemma is when you are given two options and told that no third one exists. A false dilemma is when you are given option A and option B and told to choose between the two and convinced that no third option, C, exists. That's called a false dilemma. And related to this is also what is called the Hobson's choice. Hobson's choice is among these two, one would be made to look so compelling, so inviting, so obvious that you would never go for the second one. So there is A and B, and between A and B, A is decorated so much, embellished so much, that A looks the finally only option remaining. You're told only A and B exist, C is anyway discounted, no C option exists, and between A and B is just so scary that you'll have to go for A. That's how you are made to go for really life-sucking options. If you go for space, you'll starve. If you go for space engineering or research in space, or you go into cosmology, astronomy, you will be starved. There's no career there. you'll be finished off. That's option B. Option A, everybody is doing CS, everybody is doing EC, everybody is doing IT or AI. Go for it, go for it. So first of all, no option C is allowed to stand. And between A and B, B is demonized so much that you finally surrender and kneel towards A. That's how the whole power dynamic operates. You really think space scientists starve? You really think that way? First thing. Second thing, you said you loved space. You used the word passion. So, go for it. Why are you caring for money? The rule of existence is do anything in the best way possible. And you won't have to worry about your sustenance. Money will follow. Though it will not follow in the predictable ways or at the desired or appointed time. It will come on its own. Yes, it might not make you a millionaire, billionaire, something, but you will have enough and more than enough to live happily. But you say, no, before I move towards my love, which you're calling as passion, before I move towards my love, I also need to be convinced that there is enough financial security there. Yes, you can be convinced of the paths that guarantee financial security, but then those paths are all very, very crowded lanes. As a young person setting out in life with the zeal, the zest, the energy, the freshness that youth must have, why should you choose those crowded, stuffy lanes? Why? And that too at the cost of your love. Just because you have been terrorized that you will starve. If I really have a passion to live for, what will I need too much money for? Tell me, please. What will you do with that kind of money? Your days, your nights, they'll be occupied by your passion, right? You really think Einstein had the time to splurge? The problem will be time. Even if you have a lot of money, what will you do with that? Because the greatest joy that you get comes from your work. It doesn't come from shopping or tourism or flaunting. Do you get this? You're a painter. You'd want to paint without a break if you're really in love. You're a scientist. You'll want to be in your lab 24 hours. And that's what many scientists actually do. One of my friends, he's coming up with a new kind of medicine to target certain bacteria in the gut. And that's a very, very niche field of research. He actually sleeps in the lab. Not that he doesn't have money. He's been in the US for like 20 years now. Done his masters there, BTech from IIT Delhi. Money he has aplenty. But then he doesn't want to spend the money. He doesn't even want to count the money. And it doesn't matter to him if a lot of his money actually disappears. Because it is not for the sake of money that one pursues a passion. Money follows on its own like a shadow. You don't even want to look at a shadow. You're running towards your destination. You want to look at your shadow? How many of you do that? Please tell me. There's your destination and the sun too is ahead of you there. And the shadow is following you all the time, behind you. Do you look towards your destination or do you look at your shadow? When you are looking at your destination, money keeps following you. Behind, sometimes to this side, sometimes to that side, sometimes ahead of you. Like your shadow. Sometimes a long shadow, which may mean a lot of money. And if the sun is just here, overhead, then a very small shadow, which may mean smaller money, and the length of the shadow too keeps varying. You don't care because it's not for the shadow that you are running. Are you getting it? As young people, please realize this. Money is important so that it can enable you to work. Money is not the output of work, it is the enabler. Yes, one does need money in life so that one can work without disruption. The real deal is work, not money. Yes, you need to have money so that you can quickly fly from one place to the other, so that you save time and that time can be invested in your darling work. You don't fly just for the sake of flying. Now I have money, so I fly and I fly first class. Money is definitely important. Remember, as an enabler, not as an end product. But they scare you. They say you will not get money. You tell them, I am not after money at all. I'm not after money at all. And that does not mean that you reject money, you abhor money. You'll have money. You'll have money without wanting money. And that then would mean a lot of freedom, because such money, even if lost, will not disturb you too much. You are anyway not counting the dollars. Let them be there. If they are there, fine. And if they are lost, it's again fine. It's fine. Then nobody can arm twist or blackmail you, saying we'll come and take away all your money. If you don't stop working, there would be a raid and all your bank accounts would be frozen. And you can calmly say, kindly freeze whatever you want to freeze and get lost because I have to work. Is this sounding outlandish? Huh? It doesn't work this way? Huh? You don't work this way. It does. And try this new way of living. Yes, what is life without real commitment, real passion, real love? What do you live for? Just wake up each day and say, another day, and a day will come when you will run out of days. What will you tell yourself every morning? What have you woken up for? To just wear your formals and report at work so that at the end of the month you can draw your salary check? What kind of life is that? Hey, young people, right? Strange, I have to talk so forcefully about love to you. We suppose youth is when love blossoms on its own. Does it not? No, it does not. Love has to be learnt. You won't be harmed. Don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. They'll paint all these terrifying pictures. They'll tell you, you look at that beggar on that street there, that's you 20 years down the line, I tell you. Don't listen. Nothing of that sort. No. Or you will be a wreck. You look at Pami there, Verma uncle's daughter. She tried all these fancy things that you are telling of. And that stupid author that came to your college spoke of passion and love and freshness and authenticity and all these things. They don't count, I tell you. Only fakeness matters. Only slavery wins. No, 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 no. That's not how existence is. That's not how life is meant to be. You can live freely. You can love, and there can be joy. And you can fly. It's possible. Yes. Don't deprive yourself of that opportunity, your real potential.
I do agree with that. It makes sense. It's possible to be free. It's possible to be happy. But you're talking in a very individualistic sense. Like, not that I have any right to speak of this, but like you said, it's not that we're not just asked to drop our dreams. We are terrorized into dropping them, saying we'll starve or whatever. And fine, maybe I don't care about money. I don't. All right, I don't care about money. I don't care about... Maybe I don't care whether I starve or not. All right. But hypothetically, again, not that I have any right, but what if I have people who are dependent on me? Like, if I'm not making enough money for them, I will be guilty. And secondly, you mentioned that it is not exactly natural to want to follow society rules. It's normal. Again, my entire question is about this. So I agree with you, but there is a but. But it is to some extent also natural because humans are herd animals. If we are herd animals, that means to fit into society, why do we fit into society? To propagate our generation, right?
Animals don't hold mics, do they? We still want to call ourselves animals? Yes, of course, we have this biology. But we left the jungle behind, didn't we? Or do we want to still live as animals? Animals don't comb their hair, don't brush their teeth, and they don't wear any clothes. Yes, you are very right. I agree with that, just as you agree with me. But it is to transcend your animal nature that you get educated. What else is education for? What else is this college for? If we were to remain just animals from the jungle walking around in herds, why do you need an institution like this? Why do you need a conversation like this? The institution is about teaching you in material, in outer things, how the world functions. This discussion is about teaching you in how you function inwardly. All of this is education. All education is so that you don't have to remain an animal anymore. The animal does not have much of consciousness. You have. Animals don't love. All they have is instincts. Motherly instincts, yes, they have that. Lustful instincts, yes, they have that. But they can't really know what we are talking of here. Not because they lack intellect. We are not talking of intellect here. We are talking of consciousness here. Getting it? Okay. So you said nobody comes and really terrorizes us. See, if the terrorizer comes with terrorist tattooed on his forehead, you will no more be terrorized. Because now it is out in the open that the terrorizer is the terrorizer. Terror will often come to you in the name of love, care, responsibility, concern, such things. And if you don't see through it, you won't see how there is threat in the name of care. How there is just threat masquerading as care. How there is just ownership masquerading as love. Just possessiveness masquerading as concern for security. When lies come to you, do they first of all introduce themselves? I'm a liar. Now I'll convince you. Lies always come posing as truth. Terror often comes posing as love, care, and concern. And bondages often come carrying the name of responsibilities. How do you know what is your responsibility? Please tell me. Who told you? How do you know what your real responsibility is? Please tell me. And people in different cultures, at different places, different times, have had very, very different notions of responsibility. What do you think your responsibility is? Do you think it is an innate sense of responsibility that you carry? No. You have been told you are responsible for such things. How do you know you really are? From where have you accumulated this concept called responsibility? Please tell me. Please tell me. And often it is those who want to keep you in certain grooves, in certain patterns. They will tell you, such and such are your responsibilities. And in your innocence, which I should rather call as ignorance or childish unconsciousness, you accept all those things. You see, you look at your gender, please. Just till a few decades back, women in our country, in our culture, were told that it is a part of their responsibility to eat only after everybody else has eaten. And India had the highest rate of anemia and so many other kinds of deficiencies in the entire world. And if you go and tell a woman, you need to take care of your diet first, she'll say, no, but it is my responsibility to first take care of the household. Who told her of that responsibility? Don't you see that this is just conditioning and propaganda to keep you enslaved? Have you realized where responsibility is coming from? Again asking you, had you not been told that A, B and C is your responsibility, would this have occurred to you on your own? Please tell me. Real responsibility is love. Real responsibility is not that as a wife you have to get up and serve tea to your husband every day, every morning, 7 a.m. If you do that, that's a problem. But yes, if in love you make tea and you say, come on, here is tea, let's both sip together, and that's wonderful. There is an action arising out of love, and that is beautiful. That is real responsibility. On the other hand, there is the tutored kind of responsibility. All of you, no, feel the weight of that, the crushing weight of those responsibilities, don't you? You know, we have to live to our parents' expectations. How many of you wrote the JEE, for example? Oh. Seems I have touched a raw nerve, huh? Doesn't feel good, right? I'm responsible to clear this exam because that will bring happiness to all and sundry. Come on, please. Please. You will be parents soon. Would you want to crush your kids? Like another 5 years, 10 years down the line, or 20 years, would you want to put so much weight on them that they just crack? Yes? And then you'll tell them, Listen, son, listen, daughter, that's your responsibility to please us. Won't that be extremely selfish of you and extremely irresponsible too? But you would be the ones who would have taught your kids, we are gods. We are gods. Parents are Bhagwan. You worship us. So if we tell you something, then that has to be taken as the gospel truth. Are you gods? But you would be, let's say, in 5 years, in a decade, in 15 years, you would be mothers and fathers, many of you. If you're not gods, then how would you suddenly turn gods on becoming parents? And why should you then suddenly be vested with the authority to inflict commandments on your kids and tell them this is what you definitely have to do? You're responsible for this, for that. And then come the genuine financial responsibilities. Yes, somebody could come from a family with a very ordinary financial background. Let's say there are 6 or 7 siblings and one is the eldest one, and there is not enough money in the household to even educate the entire line. And then yes, you do want to have some money with you so that the genuine financial needs can be taken care of. But how much money is that? Do you really have to sell yourself away for the sake of that much money? Please tell me. Is that really so big an ask that you can't meet it without keeping yourself on mortgage? Yeah? Mortgaging is the last resort, is it not? When an extreme responsibility arises, people often go and sell their kidneys off. But that's the rarest of rare case and probably illegal too. We can't talk of that as something natural. Are you getting it? Please be very, very careful before accepting something as your responsibility. And once you do accept something as your responsibility, live up to it. Be fully committed to it. Otherwise, you will be carrying 1,000 responsibilities and just tolerating them somehow. 1,000 responsibility and commitment to none. And always wishing in your heart that somehow those responsibilities could reduce. Have you not seen such people? They carry so much load and they're always cribbing. This I have to do, I'm responsible for this, I have to be responsible for that, like that, like that. The quintessential housewife. From the morning till evening, I'm only cooking this, that, I'm responsible for the kids, for the in-laws, for the husband, and for that entire extended field of relatives. Oh, always cribbing, committed to no single task, and in spite of all this, never able to boldly and bravely drop even a single responsibility. She will do everything and keep cribbing. And then everything will be done in a lukewarm way. Right? Or the unwilling employee. Think of the unwilling employee. She has accepted a job just because she was told that you need to have this job to take care of your personal responsibilities. So she goes ahead and accepts a job having no heart, a job to which she is not committed at all, a job to which she cannot relate at all. Every day she shows up at the office 1 hour late and the boss screams at her. The entire day she is dreaming of this, that, something, because just she's just not in the work. Continuously, she's looking at the calendar and the clock. When would it turn 6? And when would we have the 30th of the month and I'll get the salary check? You want that kind of life? This is what happens when you take up fake responsibilities. Being responsible is wonderful, but all responsibility must be chosen with great care. And once it is chosen, we said remain put. Then there has to be total love, total commitment. Go for something that has totality. Ifs and buts, they bring in a lot of conditionality, a lot of relativity. And all that is not good to live with. You'll not enjoy it. Don't you want to enjoy life really? That requires boldness. And that requires deep love. Yeah, you're young, you're just stepping into it. You can't allow yourself to be handcuffed right in the beginning. How will you fly then?
My name is Savan and I am from West Bengal, and I have been connected with Acharya Ji since almost 2 years now. Since childhood, I have been an introvert kind of person, and I have always been very much unclear about a lot of things in life. So I have always listened to a lot of people, especially in spiritual sense. But never have I got such clarity and such kind of answers as I have got after listening to Acharya Ji. This has made a tremendous amount of difference in my life. So the real change has only happened after I have started listening to Acharya Ji. Before that, whoever I have listened to, they have been a kind of sweet pills, that it is good to listen to them, but for the moment, but never the real change happens. And real change in the sense I mean is, it is suffering. It is the suffering that we have in our life, in the form of fear, in the form of anxiety, in the form of the mental clutter that goes on each and every moment of our lives. Now after 2 years, I feel that the mind is a lot free. It is a lot relaxed now, because the sessions and the teachings are so wonderful that it has to happen for each and every one of participants who are in the Gita community. A lot of them have benefited, and in the same way I have also benefited. So I just cannot thank enough. I have no words to thank Acharya Ji. I can say it's a rebirth, and so everyone should join this community. Everyone should listen to Acharya Ji. That's all I want to say. Thank you.